I'm just a bill, yes I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Whirling swell, long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be alone. Yeah, yes, I hope and pray that I'll be, but today I'm just with you.
Good morning, this is Bill Scher on the LiberalOasis radio show, WHMP News, Information, and the Arts. A mere 2 weeks away from Election Day. Obama still holding a solid lead in the polls, maybe tightening a little bit. Don't be surprised if there's some more tightening. Don't presume that just because you're up by double digits one day that that's going to stick around. There's still a lot of fluidity out there. Some of that support's a little soft. In that swing vote, that undecided vote, you have a lot of skepticism, cynicism. They are not swept up by slogans of hope. They tend to, there's not deep antipathy towards either candidate, I think, in that pool, but great skepticism about both. So don't think that anything is in hand and that there's no need to work for your favorite candidate. But, having said that, it is notable how much muck has been thrown at Obama so far and how little of it is sticking. McCain had one last gambit to try, one last stunt in the debate this week, and that was to bring up Joe the Plumber, someone like his vice presidential choice, someone he hadn't met, someone he hadn't vetted, someone who hadn't actually thought through what the gentleman's story was, but gave him a good 24, 48 hours of media attention to say, here's someone who Obama wants to raise taxes on. But, of course, it turns out that Joe the Plumber would get a tax cut under Obama's tax plan. Now, Joe the Plumber is obviously skeptical about that because he is as right-wing as they come. Something else that came out in the media attention, for example, he hates Social Security, doesn't want it forced on him. So, when he got the media encampment in front of his house, the attempt, of course, is always to hold up folks as being the everyman. This is middle America. This is the heartland. And the conservative movement has done a good job at taking conservative views and blurring them with the heartland. But the heartland has been shifting far away from that in the wake of 8 years of conservative failure. So when you get a guy going up there saying, I hate Social Security and I love the Iraq War, don't presume that every plumber in America is going to say, oh, I'm going to agree with that too. Just like don't presume that just because Matt Damon makes an endorsement that everyone else is going to follow suit. People think for themselves. They can say, you know what, not that I like my Social Security, but man, am I going to need it? My private pension I can't rely on right now. My 401k has just gone into the toilet. That guy at least have Social Security. But that is the gambit that they tried. But there is something that came out this week that I think is very indicative to why these attacks aren't working. This was on Ben Smith's blog at Politico.com. And he wrote, I just got an astounding email from a Republican consultant I know well. He's a guy who always thought Obama had a glass jaw and was always among those agitating for hitting Obama harder. Recently, he conducted a focus group in an upper Midwestern state, showing them the kind of ad he thought would work, a no-holds-barred attack cut for an independent group which has not aired. I'm just going to reprint his amazed email about the focus group. This is from the Republican pollster. Reagan Dems and Independents call them blue collar plus, slightly more target than Walmart. That is his description of the individuals in the focus group. Yes, the spot worked. Yes, they believe the charges against Obama. Yes, they actually think he's too liberal, consorts with bad people, and won't be a good president. But they still don't give an F. They said right out, he won't do anything better than McCain, but they're still voting for Obama. The two most unreal moments of my professional life of watching focus groups. 54-year-old white male. Voted Kerry 2004. Bush 2000. Dole 1996. Hunter, NASCAR fan. Hard for Obama. Said, quote, I'm going to hate him the minute I vote for him. He's going to be a bad president. But I won't ever vote for another GD Republican. I want the government to take over all of Wall Street and bankers and the car companies and Walmart, run this country like we used to when Reagan was president. The next was a woman, late 50s, Democrat, but strongly pro-life. Loved Bill and Hillary Clinton, loved Bush in 2000. Quote, well, I don't know much about this terrorist group Barack used to be in with that weather guy. But I'm sick of paying for health insurance at work, and that's why I'm supporting Barack. I felt like I was taking crazy pills. I sat on the other side of the glass and realized this is really the apocalypse. The seventh seal is broken. It's time for 8 years of pure, delicious crazy. That is the conclusion from this Republican pollster. So, these are pretty extreme examples, I think. But it just goes to show, you see polls now that say that the vast majority of the country thinks Obama will raise your taxes, which isn't even true. But they believe it because that's how deep the skepticism is. But they also think about half the country also thinks that McCain will raise their taxes. So it's not that compelling a selling point for a lot of people. And fundamentally, what you see here is, despite what skepticism remains in that slice of what was uncommitted, undecided voters, or perhaps still is to some degree, that they just want something different.